she said that Earth democracy has an agenda that revolves mostly around seeds, food, and water. And when we talk about seeds, which is really where food comes from other than animals and plants, you got to start with the seeds. When we speak of the commons, which is a word that I sort of just learned a couple days ago, believe it or not, actually just 2 days ago, and then it appears all through this reading. It's kind of an interesting word, and I had never really heard it before. It's been around. The commons are those things from plants, animals, our biology, our ecology that we really hold sacred and have always held sacred. And seeds are, for 10,000 years, we've been planting seeds and modifying them, changing them, evolving them for our sustenance. And so seeds is really primary to the commons, in the way I see it, along with water, of course. There's some basic concepts around the way corporate globalization is sort of taking control and why this democracy is in place. And it affects seeds in a big way. And some of those concepts that they use are patents that they put onto seeds. And it's done in a funny way because there are these patents that we use on our life sources, which can be patents on genes, patents on plants, biology, all of that. But in seeds, every economy that deals with agriculture and uses seeds has been doing it for so many years and generations they've evolved. And now these big corporations have come out and patented a specific seed. And through the WTO and the TRIPS agreements, which we know what TRIPS agreements are, it stands for something here that I actually have. It is trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights agreement. And it is imposed on countries that want to get money from the World Bank. It's imposed in many ways across the world. So it's not our country, it's not the EU, it's worldwide control of seeds now is occurring. And by example, which she wrote about, there are several that relate to seeds. So before I give you those, I just want to say this, that over 10,000 years of human-shaped ecology, patents on seeds not only allow monopolies of genetically engineered seed, they allow patenting of traditional varieties and properties used by farmers over millennia. And what that looks like is they can go to a seed that was used in an area where there's frost. It's been over the years. And we're going to talk about wheat or rice, but wheat, for instance. So up in the mountains of some area, that specific seed has been generated to be frost resistant, or in a flood-prone area or salt water area. These are totally things that have been generated over generation after generation, and now they're patented. And that patent can control the use of what people are allowed to plant to the degree that they can't even use seeds that they use on their own that are uncertified legally any longer because of laws that have been impacted in each of these countries. So by example, there's one that I like, she talked about called the Monsanto biopiracy. And if you know what biopiracy is, anybody know? It is where we steal the rights to our biology. So Monsanto went and in India, wheat seeds, they have a seed they call Naphal, which if you translate Naphal in Hindi, I guess it is, that which gives no fruit, which I don't think they really meant to name that way, but they get it near Nepal, which could be coincidental. It's the location of the source of the seed. And what they did was they actually got a patent, which would not have allowed anybody to use anything really but their seed based on the agreements that were being put in place there. Well, Greenpeace went and fought that, and they actually had that revoked, which is pretty remarkable. And the reason they can get it revoked is because part of a patent has to do with its source, its originality. There's all these conditions for patenting. And what they did was they stole the source, and they were not original. And just by using the law, they were able to get it revoked. So we have rights on our sides if we have the strength to go and fight after them. Another example is a guy, Joseph Albrecht, who is in Scotland. He's an organic farmer, and he has been developing seeds over 20, 30 years, and he trades them with other farmers. And because of the rules in the EU, he actually was stopped by corporations that said, and it's probably Monsanto, I can't recall right here, that he's not permitted to do this anymore. And he fought it and said, well, wait a second, you don't in fact own the rights to this because your patent is no longer legal for the same reasons. And in that process, he was actually given a right to do it until the next year when they overturned it and said, and in the EU, you can't even trade seeds that are not certified. You can no longer trade between farmer seeds. And in a country like India, where 80% of the seeds that are used are stored seeds, they're growing their own seeds, with the new laws that have been imposed in India now, and the laws are actually getting stronger, not weaker. 80% of all the seeds are saved. That throughout time have developed, geographically evolved, with all these different components, whether they're flood-prone, frost-proof, whatever. And basically, these are the targets for Monsanto and other interested companies like that in controlling every link of the food chain. So they start with seeds, and that's the first control, and it goes beyond that. And one of the worst examples is Paul Bremer. In 2004, he imposed a plant and seed patent on all of Iraq, to all of Iraq farmers in 2002. 97% of all farmers use safe seeds, and now it's illegal for them to use those seeds. So they must be purchasing through, these conflict corporations. And I think I only have one more thing to say, which was they call seed sovereignty, which is a movement for freedom. It's called Bija Swaraj in India. And since our author is from India, a lot of her writing was from India, so I think that there should be a seed movement, which there is easily in developed countries, but it's a seed movement that really needs to be worldwide.